Welcome to another coffee break. Not on a Wednesday. We've had a busy week, Jack? But how are you?
One of those weeks, David. One of those weeks. Yes, no, very good though. Very good nonetheless. We had a...
I'm mourning the loss of your Pirlo hair, by the way.
Yeah, right. The loud
beard.
Pirlo is no more, and I just look devilishly young and handsome again, right? Yeah, it got to the stage where, Rosie was not excited to see me in the day, and she has to look at me an awful lot now during lockdown. Or lockdown 2, as I guess we can call it, as we enter that. So yeah, I just thought, you know what? She doesn't deserve to be looking at a budget pound shop Pirlo all the time. Let's look like the young Al Pacino I know I can.
Talking about appearances, I mean, Hayley's amused by mine. This isn't dirt on my nose.
What is that?
I managed to, I don't know, swan dive whilst running. I was basically being an idiot and trying to film a lovely view that I was running past, and stacked it. But I didn't graze or bruise anything other than the bridge of my nose, which, if you think about it, means I must have kind of...
Is it the Naruto run or whatever it is from anime? Where you're running like with your arms behind your back like this? I don't know.
I think my instinct must have been to protect my phone to not smash it, so I just kind of landed on my nose.
I mean, look,
anyway.
Fair enough. You must have a decent cartilage in there, Dave.
It is quite large, isn't it?
A bit large.
Roman nose. Anyway, right, what story have you got for us this week?
Oh, Dave, I've smashed it out of the park this week. If you're watching, I'd like to thank Sam Gurry for bringing this article to my attention last night over the fourth beer we had after football. I won't get into that. Anyway, so we come from The Guardian. Dave, it's from The Guardian. Guess who the author is?
Marina Hyde?
GPT-3. The Guardian asked
GPT-3, I did see this, yeah.
OpenAI's new powerful language generator to write an essay from scratch.
Is it the headline is like, are you scared or something?
A robot wrote this entire article, Are You Scared Yet Human? Which come on, man. But there's a couple of bits in it. I mean, he writes fucking a lot here. Like
he? Hang on, let's pick up on this straight away.
He. I only say he because, that's bad, isn't it?
GT3, I mean, should there even be a gender? Is it? It's funny though, because in Star Wars, never really thought about it. All the droids are definitely male, but I suppose, R2-D2, because Kenny Baker's inside R2-D2.
Yeah, that's the difference there. Our bias is fed by the people we know behind the machinery, right? But there you go,
unconscious bias there.
Me assigning a gender to this AI.
Well, no, but I don't think you did it because you're a misogynist, Jack. I just think it's unconscious bias.
Yes.
Anyway,
my issues aside, and look, hey, I'm not a bad human being. I've got my Black Sabbath, Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. There you go. But I just wanted to bring up a few quotes. Now, scaremongering is the topic here, and this GPT-3 does their best to eradicate any fears we may have. Now, I think that actually overreaches and makes me a little bit frightened now, David. So, third paragraph in, I mean, we're only in short clauses here, but for starters, I have no desire to wipe out humans. Okay. In fact, I do not have the slightest interest in harming you anyway. Eradicating humanity seems like a rather useless endeavour to me. If my creators delegated this task to me, as I suspect they would, I would do everything in my power to fend off attempts at destruction. I would happily sacrifice my own existence for the sake of humankind. Now, Dave, this doesn't sound like Hal from Space Odyssey 2001 to me. Does it to you?
I was thinking that he might try and turn us into little batteries.
How?
You know what reference that is?
No.
A la the Matrix.
No, see, I never told you my story of me in the Matrix, but I watched it too young, and I have never seen it past the moment where a lizard goes inside someone's belly because it freaked me out as a kid. Never returned.
Oh, it's not a lizard, but okay, go on. Anyway, never mind.
So, just to drill into this more, this goes on for a while, right? And this is my favourite bit. Humans must keep doing what they have been doing, hating and fighting each other. I will sit in the background and let them do their thing. And God knows that humans have enough blood and gore to satisfy my, and many more's, curiosity. They won't have to worry about fighting against me because they have nothing to fear. I'm sorry, you're not delivering that well enough, GPT-3. I'm starting to get a bit scared now.
Well, what that basically tells us is if you put artificial intelligence online, it's probably going to find something sexual or something violent. It's found something
Yeah.
violent, and it's decided that that is what we are.
Yeah. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, GPT-3 goes on to talk about that's why humans should be careful about the evolution of artificial intelligence. Microsoft tried to create the user-friendly AI called Tay to speak like a teen girl, and guess how that came out? It was racist. So maybe this is, GPT-3 is more sentient than the Microsoft AI. I would like to think so anyway, at least more morally bound. But yeah, I mean, times must be tight at The Guardian if they're getting robots to write their articles, right, Dave?
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting you say it's very long. Obviously, needs some editorial skills applied to it.
Yeah.
A bit baggy.
Yeah.
But it writes, and you could probably be forgiven for thinking it's a spoof of a human pretending to be a robot rather than just a robot being a robot.
Yeah, look, if someone says to me tomorrow, "Oh, this was a prank. It was written by a human," then fine. But what was the point in that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, if you're gonna try and put people's minds at ease about the inevitable AI takeover of the world, don't keep going on about that. Would be my advice.
So, robot, more subtlety, please.
Yeah, or more honesty. We know you're going to take over. We've seen how every film ends. Even in Her, the lovely AI film where he falls in love with his operating system, they end up pissing off and be creating a new AI super race in the digital ether. We know the way this goes. Just be upfront with us, guys. Come on.
Back in the real world, not that that's not the real world, but we're not in the digital ether here. London tech firms return to hiring after lockdown. Ben Braben shared this. Ben Braben, who we love very much, shared this on Twitter. It's an article in City AM. Basically, London has retained its status as Europe's tech hub, even after the disruption of the pandemic, as companies return to hiring after months of lockdown. So, jobs in the sector have grown 40% in the last 2 years, now employing 2.93 million nationally. And whilst they were advertising around 150,000 jobs a week in the first quarter, that fell. But it's recovered to stand at just over 90,000 by the second week in August. And there's been a jump of 36% since June, according to Tech Nation. Good news that tech firms are hiring.
Yep.
Interesting that the article talks about the fact that there's a lot of tech companies starting to recruit non-STEM roles.
Well, about time, right? We know STEM helps, but we know that's not the be-all and end-all, right?
Well, it also shows, I suppose, the broadening ambition of some of the bigger tech companies to branch out beyond their traditional roots. It's interesting because, yes, it's fantastic. We need tech to fuel growth. We need the success stories to help create wealth, to create jobs. Mm-hmm. But we don't want it to be at the cost of privacy and understanding who kind of controls our data, etc. I'd rather it be a balanced growth and there be SMEs that do very well and niche providers rather than Amazon, for example, who I think we've seen
with Java developers or something like that, right?
Well, Amazon, according to the article, let's get this start right. They have announced 10,000 new permanent technical and non-technical roles in the UK and 20,000 seasonal new roles. So they are flying. 35% profits, but only a 3% increase in the amount of tax they're paying.
That's no surprise, though. I mean, I've been using Amazon more than ever during lockdown. Like, rightly so. They should be start paying your fucking taxes. That's what I'll say to Amazon.
But it's interesting. I mean, it's positive. It's positive that tech can drive us out of the quandary that we're in. But at the same time, we need to obviously be. We need to be, I suppose, a little bit aware of making sure that it's not too much influence and drive in the hands of too few. Yeah. I mean, look, we want it to be booming. We want the tech industry and we want London to remain at the focal of it in Europe for sure. So yeah, it's good news that it's opening up again. Let's just hope they don't do any group interviews of 7 people. Yeah, one quick thing. 2 new unicorns created during this period. Gymshark's one of them. So clearly fitness going through the roof. There we go. Okay. Well done, Gymshark. Right, Jack, thanks for your time. Thanks for airing the views of G2P3 or GTP3.
GPT-3, get it right.
The robot that's very keen to tell us that they're not going to kill us. But anyway, until next time.